Kinder Bueno is one of the best chocolate bars. It's so much better than regular Kinder. I don't like that kid on the packet. Why is he looking at me like that? He needs to respect my privacy. But yeah, I wanted to make a Kinder Bueno. So the first thing I did was make a Kinder Bueno filling. The chocolate bars essentially have a white chocolate hazelnut spread in the middle. I couldn't find white chocolate hazelnut spread anywhere. I mean, I only looked in 2 places. But that is one too many. Amazon also didn't have it, so instead I just made it myself. All I did was blend hazelnuts until they turn into a paste. It will look oily like your hair at first, but eventually it will turn into a paste. Then I added the rest of the ingredients. Speaking of Jeffrey's website, I want to go to the Amazon rainforest. I don't even know why, because I am spider-phobic, but it seems like an experience. I mean, I would never actually go. I am not one with nature. I don't like the smell of green, but in my mind it seems fun. Anyway, I made 2 cake layers. I did chocolate because Kinder Bueno is a chocolate bar. I just baked those and let them cool. For the buttercream, I'm using a Swiss meringue buttercream. I just mixed some of the spread that I previously made into this. I didn't do much to this cake, so decorating it was pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. I keep getting told that my definition of easy peasy lemon squeezy is not the same as your definition of easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let me say this. I was not born with such skill and talent. The only thing I was born with was the diabetes gene, but I am delusional and believe I can make anything. You need to believe this too. The flavor of this cake was so good. White chocolate and hazelnut is a great combination, but I don't see it that often. I only see it in Kinder Bueno. My only prayer for the future is that white chocolate and hazelnut prevails. But yeah, that is it. I hope you have a good day or night. Goodbye. This is a Snickers cheesecake. So I think Snickers is my favorite chocolate bar. It's chewy and crunchy, but it's not crunchy like those dusty crunchy bars. I hate those. It's a nice crunchy. A few weeks ago, I made a Snickers cake. I love that cake, so naturally, I felt the need to make a Snickers cheesecake too. So I started with a basic baked vanilla cheesecake. I made the biscuit base and then the cheesecake batter. My cheesecake batter doesn't have eggs in. This always seems to cause confusion. Basically, it's eggless because there are no eggs. You don't actually need eggs in them. Any cheesecake recipe, if you remove the eggs, it will still work. This is not true at all. Please don't do this. I just wanted to spread misinformation, but this one does work without the eggs. I still bake it because it becomes creamy juicy in the oven. Just believe in me. Why am I even being questioned? Also, the price of eggs is high. The numbers in your bank account are low, so I am helping out. I truly am for the people. Anyway, for the caramel, you want a caramel sauce. I made it because I am just so talented, but you can also just buy it. I mixed this with some salty peanuts. You know, yesterday someone told me that peanuts are not a nut, they're a legume. What the heck is a legume? I don't want to hear lies and rumors. There are nuts in my eyes. Make sure to let this fully chill before adding it to your cheesecake. I'm a scientist, so let me explain why. The cheesecake will melt. Speaking of melted cheesecake, you know this one time I deep fried a slice of cheesecake, and I know you might be like, Ashley, what is wrong with you? Do you not want to live a long life? No, I don't. But yeah, it was actually kind of nice. By the way, the chocolate part was a ganache. I added that, then added a little pizzazz, then it is done. This is not the easiest cheesecake to cut because of the peanuts. Your slices might end up jiggly wiggly, but that's okay. The taste is still a 10 out of 10. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Bye. I've been trying to recreate the Cheesecake Factory cheesecakes. This is their Reese's Peanut Butter Chocolate Cake Cheesecake. I feel like some of their names are unnecessarily long. What's their issue? There was no need for me to have to say all that. A simple Reese's cheesecake would have sufficed. So this needs to be made over 2 days because everything needs to be setted. So the first thing I made was a milk chocolate ganache. Then I also made 2 chocolate cake layers. Like always, mine isn't exactly the same as Cheesecake Factory's. I just took inspiration. I would actually argue that mine is better, but I wouldn't win the argument. I'm not very good at arguing. I start stuttering. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, I made 2 cheesecake layers. I just used a vanilla cheesecake batter, but I also added some peanut butter into it and also some chopped up Reese's peanut butter cups. I was actually kind of stressed about adding the peanut butter cups. My BP was going up thinking about it. I thought they would melt and ruin the cheesecake, but they didn't. They held their shape. Thank you, Reese. The next day I threw everything together, so I did a layer of cake, cheesecake, and then I added some peanut butter. I recommend using smooth peanut butter. The only lumpy thing that should go near this cake is your forehead. But then I added another layer of cake and then the final layer of cheesecake. I bought chocolate sprinkles for the outside of the cake. They were so dusty. Like, I bit into them and they were dusty. Powdery might be a better word, but I don't know why they were like this. I feel like Cheesecake Factory and the maker of these sprinkles were in cahoots to try and sabotage me. Cheesecake Factory, I hate you. I hope you flop. Even with the sabotageation, this was so good. But apart from the very nice, delectable taste, the smell is what did it for me. I've never experienced such a nice smelling cake. I walked into my kitchen a few hours later and the smell was still smelling. I don't know why it smells so good. You need to make this just to experience the smell that I experienced. Okay, bye. Everything I've been making has been failing recently. I refuse to take accountability though. It cannot be my fault. So I'm gonna blame this on Evil Eye. Be safe. Evil Eye is real. But yeah, everything has been failing. So I wanted to make something basic to rejuvenize me. Yeah, because sometimes basicity is needed. So I made Nutella stuffed cookies. The first thing I did was get some Nutella and froze this because you want it to be frozen. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because I didn't wait long enough, so it wasn't fully frozen. But preferably, you want it to be frozen. For the cookie dough, I wanted the cookies to be a little thick and voluptuous. Not super thick, just a little bit thick. So to achieve this, the main thing I did was use cold butter, and then the rest was your regular cookie ingredients. I added the medium frozen Nutella into my cookie dough balls, then I froze everything for about an hour. Make sure to freeze them, otherwise they will blow up in the oven. This is literally based on a true story. This one time I didn't chill my cookies before baking. I heard a bang. I went to check. The cookies were everywhere. So make sure to always chill your cookies. Anyway, I baked them. And then that's it. Thank you for being here. Bye. Cookie dough is a nice dessert. Cheesecake is also a nice dessert. So I was like, why not marry them together? I don't even support marriage, but this is so good. I am so grateful to myself for making this. Speaking of marriage, have you seen Stephanie Sue's wedding video? I cried a bit. It was the vows. They got to me. It was the cutest wedding I have ever witnessed. I kind of want one now. I digress. I didn't use completely raw cookie dough for this. It's like, you know the cookie dough you get from dessert shops? It's called cookie dough, but it's not completely raw or completely cooked. It's in between. That's the kind of cookie dough I was going for. So I made the cookie dough first. It was just a basic schmegular cookie recipe, but I used a little less flour because I wanted this to be ooey gooey, not dry and crusty like your lips. So using less flour helps. I saved a bit of this cookie dough for later, and then I partially baked the rest. For the cheesecake, I whipped up a cheesecake batter, then I added the cookie dough that I saved, and also a bunch of chocolate chips. I didn't add as much as I wanted, because basically, I ordered a 15-pound packet of chocolate chips. Naturally, I thought that meant I would get a lot of chocolate, but a small dainty little packet showed up on my door. It felt like theft. Inflammation is real. I'm so embarrassed. I meant inflation, of course. But like, inflammation is real too. Stay safe, eat your vegetables. I don't even know what causes inflammation, to be honest. After baking the cheesecake, you need to let it chill overnight. Otherwise, when you take it out of the tin, it will fall apart. Just like your parents' relationship. Yeah, the next day I decorated it with whipped cream. If you like cookies and if you also like cheesecake, it would be insane not to make this. Don't be insane, be sane. But yeah, it is done. Thank you for still being here. Bye. This is a s'mores cake. So every time I make something s'mores related, you all are like, Ashley, didn't you say you don't like s'mores? No! You all just purposely misunderstood what I was trying to say. All I said was I like the idea and elements of s'mores, but not the final product because the chocolate doesn't melt and it's messy. However, I do not align with anything I ever say, so let's ignore that and enjoy this s'mores cake. The first thing I made was a ganache to fill the cake with because I think ganache is the closest thing to chocolate than actual chocolate, you know? It was just chocolate cream and butter. I melted this, then left it to set. I wanted the inside of this cake to have layers. I mean, my layers were not perfectly even. They were wobbly. It wasn't my fault, of course. I could never do anything wrong. It must have been because of the Earth's rotation. Yeah, in that moment, it must have rotated in the wrong direction. Anyway, I was trying to say, to get those layers, I made a biscuit base. I baked that for a bit so it can get dry and crusty like you. Then I baked a chocolate cake batter on top. The next day, I put the cake together. So I did cake, ganache, cake. You don't have to wait till the next day. I just had somewhere to be. I had nowhere to be. There was no need for me to lie about that. I just wanted it to seem like I had things going on. I just got stressed, so I decided to finish the cake the next day. For the meringue, you just need egg whites, sugar, and some salt. You want to heat this until the sugar has dissolved and then whip it. I also added vanilla. I added this onto the cake, did a little swirly-whirly pattern, and then toasted it with a blowtorch. If you don't have a blowtorch because you're poor, you can use your grill, or allegedly, a lighter also works, but it would take so long, so I think that's a not good idea. I loved the way this cake looked. I feel like the decoration was kind of plain, but it's coffee shop. It's a very coffee shop. Every single thing I make, my goal is for it to look like it would be served in a cute little cafe. Today, I think I achieved that. Thank you to everyone who believed in me, and also thank you to the trees for giving me oxygen. This cake wouldn't be here if there was no oxygen. Have you thought about that? We need to appreciate trees more. Anyway, I am done. Okay, bye. Millionaire shortbread is very nice. I like it a lot, but I've never made a video dedicated to it, I think. I don't know. One thing about me is I don't ever remember anything. I'm actually a bit concerned about my lack of memories. I don't know if I should be worried. But yeah, today I made millionaire shortbread. Did you see the layers? Were they not the most layery layers you have ever witnessed? You could never achieve such perfect layers, loser. Anyway, the first thing I made was the shortbread. For this, all you need is some butter, icing sugar, and vanilla. Beat those together. Then I added flour, corn flour, and some salt. I only baked mine just until it started to turn brown on top. I like the shortbread when it's soft and very crumbly. It feels nice in my mouth. But if you want one that is a bit more hard and compact, you can bake it for longer. Not too long though. You don't want it to be dry like your knees. For the caramel, all you need to do is throw all of the ingredients into a pan and heat it until it turns a light caramelly color. The color is important. If it gets too dark, the caramel will be extra chewy. We don't want that. I mean, I don't really know you. You might like that. However, me personally, I don't like that. I think there's a limit to chewiness. When something is too chewy, my mouth gets tired of chewing. Eating is supposed to be a fun, enjoyable experience. That's not fun. So proceed with caution. After that had set for a bit, I added chocolate on top and added a swirl pattern. My swirl was so pretty to me. It looked like a painting. To me. A Michael Angelo Payne. I don't really know what Michael did, to be honest. I just googled it. Turns out he was a part of Renaissance. Great album. I loved it very much. Okay, I'm gonna head out now. Thank you for being here. I love you. Bye.